Hi, I'm Simon from Sailing Britican, and we help people become confident sailing cruisers. And it's Monday today, and in 2 days I'm going to go and drive up to the Annapolis Boat Show. So what do you want to get out of going to a boat show? Number one, compare and contrast different boats. I've always loved oysters. A new oyster was going to cost so much more money than we could afford. I started looking at second-hand boats. So I'd gone to the Southampton Boat Show, and Oyster had put on a second-hand boat show, and I was looking at 45s, 47s and 49s to look at because I thought that was a nice price range for us. When I went down there was a 45 and a 47, no 49, but I went on them. I started walking around and suddenly I was starting to go down and down, and I was in the back cabin and I was like this, and because the ceiling was there, and I just realised that, you know, if I was going to spend a week on it or a weekend on it, that boat would be fine. But if I'm going to be living on board and actually going sailing on it, I would have a bad neck after a while, and I'd go to the bar like this and couldn't drink my beer. So I realised that those size of boats were wrong for me. And so I went out and I said, no, they're just too small. He goes, well, come over here and have a look at the 56. And I thought, oh, 56, that's a big boat. And yeah, I don't know if I can afford to buy that boat and run it and do whatever. But he said, no, come and have a look and see what you think. And when I got it, I just fell in love. I could stand everywhere, and I just loved the quality, and I just fell in love with the Oyster 56. I was also looking at the price range of new boats. Now I was comparing new boats price-wise compared to a second-hand Oyster 56. And when I went on, I just walked onto those boats and they looked beautiful, but for me, it didn't feel right. When I went onto an oyster, it felt right. And I didn't just go onto oysters. I went to the Hallsberg Rassies and contests, which are equivalent boats to oysters. But an oyster just felt right for me. And that's what you have to do. You have to go walk on a boat, because you'll walk on there and you'll go, nah, this is not for me. Or you'll go on there and you go, yeah, this is for me. I suppose it's like when you buy a house. In the first 10 seconds you walk into a house, you go, no, this house is not for me. Or, ooh, I like this house. So the great thing about a boat show is there's loads and loads of boats there, and you can just walk on and you can find out, I like this layout, I don't like this layout. You might not find that right boat for you, but you might find out the layout that you like. You might find that, yeah, I was looking at a monohull, but I like catamarans, or I'm only liking catamarans, but actually I went on this monohull and it was so much roomier than I thought. There's lots of things. So just get on there and walk around and see as many boats as you can. Okay, so number two, showing intent. Get in there. Look, you've been watching the videos, you've been reading about all the books. The next logical step is actually getting on the boat and standing on them, feeling them, seeing what it's like, finding the boat that you want. And showing intent for yourself, for your wife, your partner, and maybe for your kids. I'd been looking at boats, and then I dragged Kim in 2002. Dragged her down to the boat show in Southampton on the south coast of England, and she was like, oh, boats, woo, woo, woo. We actually walked on an oyster, and I put my name down and gave my phone number and email off to other oyster. And then a year later, in the summer, I get this phone call, and answer the phone call, and he goes, hi, is that Simon? I went, yeah. Hi, this is Dave from Oyster Yachts. I was like, oh yeah, we'd like you and Kim to come down and have a look at some oysters. I went, are you mad? I says, I'm a prison officer. I says, I can't afford an oyster. Doesn't matter, we'd still like you to come down and have a look. Next weekend, Kim and I went down to the Oyster Yachts, and they took us out for a lovely meal in a stately home, and they took us round the yard. We were taken on a yacht that was almost complete in 2003. We walked around it, looked all on it, and I said, oh, what's the name of the boat? And they went, oh, this boat is number 32, Pearl Fisher. As it happened, in 2014, we bought the Oyster 56, number 32, Pearl Fisher, which we renamed as Britican. So we actually went on Britican when she was in the build. And 11 years later, we owned her. Yay! And it cost a lot less too. So from that story is, you never know what might happen. Go out there, get to the boat show and have a look around. And you never know, you might stand on your future boat. So the third reason that you go to the boat show is you might come across opportunities that you didn't know existed. Like Kim and I, we were walking around and we found this company called Sunsail. We just spoke to them. I said, we haven't got any experience. They went, oh, all you have to do is this 2-day course, back then in 2002. And you could, after 2 days, you could go and rent one of our boats. And I looked at Kim, and Kim goes, yeah, you go and do the course. So I went and did the course with my friend, and then me, my friend, and his wife and Kim, we then started doing sunsails together. And we fell in love with sailing that way. But we wouldn't have known about it if we hadn't gone to the boat show and talked to people. So just to give you another example, years later, we had our own boat. It was on the south coast. And we were looking at possibly doing, I wanted to do my day skippers, but I also wanted Kim to get her day skippers because, you know, I just wanted her to get the experience and get the qualifications. And, you know, if something had happened to me, like I couldn't, you know, became sick and couldn't do anything, I wanted Kim to have the confidence to do it. She says, I am not doing it on the south coast. It's too cold and we have our daughter with us. How are we going to do it? And I want to do it with you. I went, okay, yeah, I understand that. So we were going along and we met this guy, Mark, who's learned to sail, and he was based in Portugal. He's still working there. He's a great guy. And so I got talking to him. I said, look, how does it work? Can we come down? I said, I want my wife to come on. And I said, it's nice and warm down in Portugal and I want my wife to come on. I said, but the problem is we have a 2-year-old daughter. He goes, that's not a problem. Bring her along with her. So we ended up going down with a friend of ours and his daughter, who was 10 at the time. So there was 5 of us on the boat, 2 kids, and the 3 of us passed our day skippers. Looking at a website, you wouldn't have been able to talk to him and found out the opportunities that we got. And we had a brilliant time. If it wasn't for going around and walking around the boat show and getting off our chair and going out there, we'd never have found those opportunities. So who knows what opportunities you will find at the boat show. The 4th reason you go to the boat show is to meet people. You meet the manufacturers, people that are going to build your boat, you know, also the charter companies are there. There's lots and lots of different people you can meet and talk to and find out what their products. Also, you might be able to meet me, because in a couple of days I'm driving up to Annapolis and I'm going to be on the YouTube sailing channel's tent desk, wherever it is. I haven't found out that yet, but I'm going to be there Monday, Saturday and Sunday, and so I'll post the dates and times I'll be on the stand on Sailing Briticun's Facebook page. So if you're going to the Annapolis Boat Show, please come and find me and say hello and make sure I'm not all on my own. So I'd love to meet you and have a good chat. And the 5th reason to go to the boat show, sometimes you can get some great deals there. I'm not talking generally on boats, because if you want to buy a boat, I think you want to have a more individual time with the sellers of the boat and not generally do that at a boat show. But what I found, we used to go on the last day, and I used to go around to the suppliers if I wanted, you know, some fenders or some rope or some deck shoes. I'd go to the people and say, what deals are you doing? Are you taking everything back, or do you want to sell it for a reasonable price? And sometimes, you know, I used to get some 50% off and 40%, 20%. Who knows? But I always used to ask, because I'm a bit cheeky that way. So maybe you can find some deals out there. Those are my 5 reasons for why you should go to a boat show. And hopefully if you go, you might see me there, and you never know, we might have a beer together. Hope to see you there. Take care. Bye.